Hi, I don't feel like filming an intro for this video because I don't feel like editing it because as you can tell, I have not felt like editing for the past 10 months, so this is already a stretch. I'm not gonna explain where I've been because frankly, I haven't been anywhere. I've still been right here, actually in the same exact spot that I'm standing right now. I have not moved a single inch. My feet have been super glued to the floor. I saw Ariana Grande's performance with The Weeknd for the iHeartRadio thingy, where she sang her remix of Save Your Tears, and I was like, wow, I really like your outfit art. She was like, oh my gosh, thanks. And she gave it to me. Not really, I made it myself. It's a top and it's a skirt, so it's like technically a dress, but it's separated. So a top and skirt. I hope you enjoy it. Purple. I purple you. Okay. And if this intro looks like it's filmed on a potato, it's because it is. It is the iPhone SE potato.
As with any of my projects, I went to my local thrift store to find fabric first. I hate buying new things, especially when it comes to fabric, and I really wasn't expecting to find the exact shade of plum-colored satin that I needed, but look. I found the perfect skirt on the first try. Also, I've been laughing for the last 10 minutes editing this, trying to figure out what the people in the dressing room next door are saying. Obviously, it's too big, so I'll have to tailor it and install a zipper, but I can't be mad. Okay, so here's the skirt. See how nicely she reflects the light? First thing that I did was try it on and measure/mark how much excess there was on either side. I then started deconstructing the skirt, which included seam ripping this thick elastic waistband. It's a super high quality elastic, so I look forward to using it for another project. And this is just another reason why I always thrift materials. You can always save the scraps for other things later. Okay, so now that I'm trying it on again, presumably to actually pin the excess this time now that the waistband is gone, I'm wearing it inside out so that I can just pin and sew right sides together down the side seams after. Next, I just take in the fabric like I measured and sew my new smaller side seam. I leave about one of them open about 10 inches so that I can install the invisible zipper after. I was so nervous that I'd cut off too much even though I measured like 5 times, so I actually had to keep taking it in bit by bit till it was form-fitting enough, and then once I was satisfied, I trimmed away the excess. To get that seamless finish at the top of this skirt, I taught myself how to do a blind hem along the waistline, which I've never done before. Not to gas myself up or anything, but she turned out pretty blind if you ask me. And don't ask for a tutorial on how to do a blind hem, I literally cannot tell you. It's some weird witchcraft where you just fold the waistband over and stitch mainly on the seam allowance. Yeah, I don't really get it either, but somehow I did it, so that's all that matters. It turns out I actually preferred the look of the skirt with a front and back seam rather than side seams. Then I discovered that if I pulled this miscellaneous thread, it so elegantly gathered the front skirt. I was considering keeping it like this since I was recreating Ari's dress and not trying to replicate it, but then I accidentally broke whatever magic thread that was doing it anyway, so I just kept the skirt flat as planned. Oh man, okay, so the bodice is a lot, but let's dive right in. Alright, so basically I had this peach bridal satin in my stash that I wasn't using, and I also had purple and red dye on hand. So for some reason my ego was so stoked that I thought I could dye this fabric to color match the skirt. Now I do happen to have perfect color acuity, but this must have been my Leo rising talking because, that's a rather impossible feat. Anyway, so I dyed the satin, the zipper that I had previously used for the skirt, and some shoes to match. And we'll get back to the shoes later. So while my bodice satin was dyeing, not actually dyeing, just in the dye bath, DYE, I actually got to practice making a pattern for the first time via draping on a dress form, and I've never actually done this before, and it was a lot less scary than previously imagined. I just used some trash fabric to drape and mark on, and no, I don't mean the fabric itself is trash. I mean I literally got it from the trash. No joke, I found an entire hamper of newly cut fabrics including silks, spandex, cotton prints, whatever, on the curb about a year ago, in addition to a pristine ironing board, jewelry supplies, and other crafting goodies, and that trash treasure was gonna be a video itself, but I never got around to filming the haul, so sorry. Also, stop putting perfectly good materials on the curb, y'all. Like, please just donate to a thrift store if you can. As you can see, the bodice fabric somehow turned out a lovely lilac or lavender, but definitely not plum like the skirt. And at this point, I liked the combo and variety of different purples enough that I wasn't bothered by the blatant color difference. So I took my top pattern and I cut 4 pieces out for both the lining and the exterior. I also made a small, I don't like this vocal fry, hold on, let me take a sip of water. So I took my top pattern and cut 4 pieces out for both the lining and the exterior. I also made a small back top pattern, which was basically a rectangle. And because Ari's top is fastened with these long ribbon ties, I just extended those pieces by like 1.5 feet and then tapered the ends when cutting them out. Next, I attached the long back bodice pieces to the front bodice at the side seams, and then I placed the bodice pieces right sides together. I sewed all the way around, leaving the neck open to turn it inside out. And I forgot to say that I marked areas for the darts earlier when draping so that the top curves naturally with the bust, and I brought the 2 notches together on each bodice piece and sewed the dart. Then I ironed the left and right bodice on my trash ironing board that I mentioned earlier. Look how it's even sage green, my favorite color, and for free. Okay, so initially for the little ring in the middle, I planned on folding the bodice over, stitching it in place, and then slipping a jump ring through both tubes to connect both the bodice pieces. But I found out too late that I really should have accounted for the amount of fabric needed to cover the middle ring when I was making my pattern rather than brushing it off and winging it. So the top that I made is okay, but not that great. But I actually got a chance to redo it all when I found the perfect fabric, and this time I mean it, when I was at another thrift store the following week. I know, thrifting is my love language. I found this brown satin curtain and I basically did everything the same again, but this time dyeing it purple yielded a much closer color to the skirt, and I was able to account for the extra fabric needed for the ring in the middle. I also kept the back ties untapered and thick all the way down with just a sharp 45-degree angle. I think this suited the look more and makes you look like a more sexy gift wrap present.
Okay, so long story short on the shoes. Do you remember how I tried to put the other ones into the dye bath? Maybe I'm just dumb. Of course they fell apart in the hot water. To be fair, the shoes were like really cheaply made, and I'm not really too upset about it because they don't really have good memories associated with them.
This was 2017 when I bleached my brown hair blonde, which was an obvious cry for help. The only photo that I like from this era is this photo shoot that I did with this goat. I wore these shoes to homecoming and I have no clue what I was going for or why I thought it was a good idea aesthetically. Time travelers, please help her.
They were kind of nasty on the inside. I did keep the hardware on the belt buckles, little grommets and stuff. I feel like those would have a use maybe in cosplay or something in the future. Anytime I try to make cosplays, costumes, I always try to buy things that I would wear at another occasion or have hearts left over to use for something else. I've also arrived at another thrift store to see if there's any better shoes.
Spoiler alert, I did find some better shoes, but I also found this really cute skirt that totally snatched my waist. I can't really breathe in it, but that's fine because it looks cute and I love these long ties that make a big bow wherever you tie it.
Okay, I found the perfect shoes. They're strappy, they have little rhinestones on them. Also, they kind of have a little bit of a platform here. The only thing is, obviously they're silver. Silver is basically like white. I should theoretically be able to make these purple. I will skip the boiling hot water bath. I hope these work. Also, while I was there, because I have no self-control when I go in a thrift store, I got these little earrings. I love earrings that already have the backs already on them. These are kind of like little chains.
This is a real find. Wait, why is this actually working? Y'all see that? It actually staining it. Why is this actually working? I'm so smart. What the heck?
I finished staining these shoes purple, and looking back, I don't really know why I was so worried about the shoes since most of the outfit photos don't even show them, but whatever, we can't choose our fixations in the present, only influence them. And then after that, all I had to do was cover all of my cystic acne and attempt Ari's makeup look, which was fairly simple. The hair was also pretty straightforward, thank God, because mustering all the energy to do this myself without a hair, makeup, and lights person is exhausting. But I hope you like the finished shoot. I used a projector to capture a lot of the purple retro vibes of the iHeartRadio performance, and it was pretty fun, but let's be honest, there's nothing more satisfying than washing off a face full of makeup, signifying the end of a project.